There's a reason the few rise while the many drift. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's not fate. It's the quiet decision to become something more, long before the world ever recognizes it. Most people wait for success to come knocking. They wait for the perfect timing, the right connection, the lucky break. But success doesn't arrive like a guest at your door. It's forged in thought, in action, in discipline, in belief. You don't attract success. You become it. The world will always tell you to chase. Chase money, chase recognition, chase approval. But the man who chases is already declaring he does not have. And what you declare, you live. The one who becomes success doesn't chase. He magnetizes. He doesn't beg for opportunity. He creates it. You see, success is not a reward for the lucky. It's the reflection of identity. It's the outer echo of the inner voice that says, I am ready. Everything you want exists within that transformation from wanting to being. Thomas Edison didn't wait for light to reveal itself. He became light. He failed over 1,000 times, not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he identified with progress. He wasn't searching for success. He was becoming the man capable of creating it. Henry Ford wasn't chasing money. He was building efficiency. Carnegie wasn't chasing gold. He was becoming value. Disney wasn't chasing dreams. He was embodying imagination itself. Every titan of history understood the same law. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you are. The power of thought, the structure of discipline, the clarity of vision. These are not external trophies. They are internal blueprints. And until you build within, you'll never see results without. There is a difference between the one who dreams and the one who decides. Dreamers want the mountain. Deciders become the climber. The climber does not look at the peak with fear. He studies it, respects it, and begins the ascent, one calculated step at a time. He does not hope to reach the top. He expects to, because in his mind, the climb was finished long before his boots touched the first stone. That's what it means to become success. It means your inner world is already living at the level your outer world hasn't caught up to yet. It means your thoughts are aligned with your purpose, your habits with your vision, your emotions with your mission. It means that even when no one believes, you act as if the outcome is already written. Faith is not pretending. Faith is remembering that you were created with power, not the kind handed to you, but the kind born within you. The great divide in humanity is simple. Most people live from the outside in. They wait for something external to validate their worth. But the few who change the world live from the inside out. They don't respond to conditions. They create them. They don't wait for momentum. They become momentum. You want to know why most people never rise? Because they're too busy trying to look successful instead of becoming the kind of person success bows to. They want the results without the refinement, the glory without the grind, the fame without the foundation. But the universe is not fooled by appearance. It responds to identity. It mirrors your dominant vibration, not your words, not your dreams, but the person you decide to be in secret when no one is watching. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you feed, every action you take, they are bricks in the temple of your becoming. And one day, the world will walk into that temple and call it success. There is no shortcut to this transformation. You cannot wish your way to greatness. You must become great in thought before you are great in reality. And that requires clarity, the kind of clarity most people never dare to find. Clarity is power. It's the difference between motion and direction, between busy and productive, between living by default and living by design. When you don't know who you are or what you stand for, the world will gladly tell you. It will hand you a script written by fear, by comfort, by mediocrity. But when you know your vision, when your purpose burns like a flame behind your eyes, no external storm can drown you. Think of a ship with no compass. It drifts, it moves, but it doesn't progress. That's how most people live, always moving, never advancing. Success begins when you grab the wheel of your own mind and steer. Napoleon Hill called it definiteness of purpose, the ability to know what you want and refuse to be distracted by anything less. It's the trait every extraordinary person shares. It's what separates the many from the few. When Ford envisioned the automobile for the masses, everyone laughed. But Ford didn't see the ridicule, he saw the vision. He didn't measure his dream by current circumstances. He measured it by faith. Faith, that invisible hand that builds empires, lifts nations, and success is not a destination. It is a vibration, a state of consciousness you enter through discipline, belief, and persistence. Most people live as if success is somewhere out there, in the future, in someone else's hands, in the outcome of luck. But success has never been a location. It's a state of being. It's who you are when no one is watching, when no one believes, when no one claps. The man who becomes success is not driven by applause. He is driven by alignment. He does not seek validation. He radiates conviction. And that conviction makes him unstoppable. The masses say, "I'll start when I feel ready." The greats say, "I'll start, and readiness will meet me on the way." That's the secret the world doesn't teach you. That momentum doesn't come from confidence. Confidence comes from momentum. Every action you take in faith builds the foundation of your becoming. You may not see progress in the mirror yet, but the transformation is already taking place. Because true growth begins in the unseen, in the mind, in the spirit, in the decision to rise again and again, no matter how heavy the fall. Your results are never bigger than your mindset. A man can only receive what he is prepared to handle. That is why the inner work must come before the outer rewards. You cannot hold abundance with a poverty mentality. You cannot lead others when you cannot lead yourself. You cannot manifest power while living in doubt. Every result you experience is the mirror of your identity. Change your identity, and the entire reflection shifts. If you see yourself as average, your actions will reflect it. If you see yourself as destined, your actions will demand it. The mind is the workshop of creation, and every day you are the craftsman shaping your future with your thoughts. You are not a product of circumstance. You are a product of choice. Every moment is a vote cast for the person you are becoming. You can vote for fear or faith, discipline or delay, growth or comfort. And each vote compounds until one day the world calls you overnight success. But there is no overnight success, only daily transformation. Every sunrise is a question. Who will you be today? The version that reacts or the version that creates? Because the truth is, success doesn't belong to those who wish for it. It belongs to those who prepare for it. Those who understand that everything they do, every thought they entertain, every standard they uphold, is either building their empire or breaking it. Think of the blacksmith, hammer in hand, face glowing with fire. Every strike against the iron seems like destruction. But it's not. It's formation. He's not destroying the metal, he's refining it, shaping it into something worthy of purpose. That's how life works on you. The struggle is not sent to break you. It's sent to forge you into the shape your destiny demands. If you avoid the heat, you'll remain unshaped, potential without form. But if you endure it, the hammer becomes your ally. The fire becomes your teacher, and the pressure becomes the proof that greatness is being born. Every great life begins in silence, before the applause, before the recognition, before the world even knows your name. It begins in that quiet moment when you decide, deeply, relentlessly, that you will no longer live beneath your potential. It's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's a whisper, a vow made between you and your own soul. I will not die ordinary. That whisper changes everything, because once you decide to live in alignment with your higher self, every force in the universe begins to rearrange around that decision. Obstacles appear, yes, but not to block you, to build you. Resistance is not rejection, it is refinement. The seed does not curse the soil when it's buried. It knows that darkness is not the end, it's the beginning. You may feel buried right now. You may feel forgotten, unseen, unheard. But maybe, just maybe, you're not buried. You're planted, and your roots are growing in silence before the world sees your bloom. The oak tree does not rush its growth. It stands firm, patient, unshaken, because it knows what it's becoming. So must you. You don't attract success by wishing for sunlight. You become success by enduring the storm. You let it grow your roots deep enough that no wind can uproot you. Understand this. Every person you admire today once stood where you stand, uncertain, afraid, doubting themselves. But they moved anyway. They acted through the fog, believing that faith would light the path. Edison didn't have certainty. He had vision. Ford didn't have approval. He had belief. Hill didn't have proof. He had purpose. And those who move with purpose do not need permission. You were not born to repeat history. You were born to rewrite it. To take the same raw material that built the giants of the past and forge something uniquely your own. But that requires